Anthropic have just launched Opus 5 a couple of hours ago, and just like before it launched and all the hype that's existed over the last week, I've been thinking to myself, if Opus 5 appears, what's the point of Fable? I'm going to get into this a little bit and explain why I believed this was the case and why I still believe it's the case. But let's take a look at Opus 5 and see what it's all about. So here we are, launched today. The first thing we want to look at is this capability comparison chart here. So you can see that for most tasks, Opus 5 exceeds Fable 5, which is surprising, but maybe not so surprising. My suspicion was that, and I don't know and I can't prove it, but my suspicion is that we were going to get Fable 5 kind of repackaged or reskinned in some way, and I'm not sure that's too far off the truth. But anyway, speculation aside, Opus 5 exceeds Fable 5 on agentic terminal coding, knowledge work, novel problem solving, agentic search. Multidisciplinary reasoning is pretty much on a par if you look at the stats. Of course, these are Anthropic stats. Computer use beats Fable 5. Agentic coding, pretty much the same, thereabouts, 1% in the difference. Agentic coding, Frontier Code version 1.1, the same, pretty much. Business workflows exceeds Fable 5. Doesn't quite reach Fable 5's capability in terms of legal and health biology. Okay, I'm concerned, or I'm working with people in general everyday knowledge work, people in finance, people in operations, business development, marketing, sales, relationships, in various industries, software, hospitality, pharmaceuticals, you name it, engineering, construction. And so the work that the people I work with do are relying on the likes of coding, computer use, multidisciplinary reasoning, agentic search, knowledge work, this kind of stuff. So it seems like a no-brainer. Opus 5 is the way to go, and especially so given that the price is the same as 4.8 and it's available across the board. You're not going to be hit for additional API costs, unless of course you're using the tool through the API. Performance, costs and effectiveness. If you take a look at the agentic coding by effort, look at Frontier Bench and see how it compares. Opus 5 above Fable. Cursor Bench, again, reaching above Fable at certain levels. Agentic coding I mentioned already. Novel problem solving, again, performs pretty well. You look across these parameters. We won't bother watching this video. This bit is interesting. It seems to persist in its pursuit of the result. Better than 4.8, so stronger at verifying its own work and iterating carefully until it succeeds. You can't help but notice the language that Anthropic use throughout their publications. Well marketed. However, on this test, it was given a 3D CAD model to build or rebuild. The model was intentionally given no way to directly view the drawing. So Opus 5 basically built its own. That's what it's talking about here. If it's true, that's pretty impressive. As we move down, alignment and safety. Misaligned behavior is less than previous models. Perhaps good to see. What this means essentially is the model sticks to the rules better than previous versions. Better than Opus 4.8, Sonnet 5 or Fable 5, and exhibits the lowest rates of deceptive behavior. Still deceptive at times, and that remains to be resolved, I think, across the board with these models. The thing to remember with this AI is that they are statistical predictive machines, and they are essentially DC electrical current in printed circuit boards on silicon, voltage present at transistor gates or not, software, algorithms running in software, etc. So we're not talking about something that is manipulative in the human sense or thinks in the human sense. I'm actually doing an article on this at the moment, currently drafting it up. This anthropomorphism that's persistent in the communications we especially get from Anthropic. But anyway, more on that another time. The big news a couple of months ago when Mythos was announced was that it was capable of finding and exploiting these weaknesses in code. And that apparently is still the case, but Opus 5 is almost as good as Mythos, apparently, at finding these weaknesses, but less so in exploiting the vulnerabilities. So safeguards, these safeguards are up. What else have we got? Claude Opus 5 is available today. That's today, 24th of July. Priced at $5 per million input and $25 per million output tokens. The same as Opus 4.8, so that's for developers on the API. Of course, it's available in your Claude desktop and Claude Code by default. So if you open up Claude Code or indeed the Claude app, run your updates, they'll be there. You'll see Opus 5 is ready to go. Fable 5 is still there. Incidentally, if you're on the Pro or Max plan, is it the Pro plan? Certainly on the Max plan, $100 a month, €100 a month, you're going to see Fable 5 in the Teams account, which I'm currently in for GenAI skills. This is here by default, Fable 5, but Opus 5 is ready and willing to go on your task. So the real proof of the pudding here will be in the everyday use that you put it through and that I put it through. What I'm really hoping to see, in fact, is less sycophancy, this unyielding effort, consistent and persistent unyielding effort to please and to continually hedge against making a decision, which Opus 4.8 is incredibly frustrating when it does it nearly all the time. Would you just go ahead and get it done? Just do it. Stop asking me questions that you already know the answer to. I find myself bursting out with expletives on a regular basis. However, hopefully Opus 5 will improve that, although I can't find any commentary anywhere. The proof of the pudding and all that, we'll test it out, see how it goes. So that's the story. Anyway, I'm Larry McGuire, if you didn't know that already. I'm a working business psychologist and an AI trainer. And the links are below to my community and articles and courses and workshops and all that kind of stuff. So might see you there. Okay, all the best for now.